Welcome to Go Bears Diecast Workshop, episode 42. Again, if you like what you see, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so that you'll be notified of my future videos. I'd like to thank all of you that visited the channel last week and saw the Cannonball Run Buildoff, sponsored by Devil's Details. I had a great time, and I had a lot of views, which was fantastic. Hope you guys are back. So this build is a 3 Blind Mice Gaslands build, sponsored by the newest Mice, Jim Silva. He picked this casting, and I've already drilled it apart. So I've got a plastic interior, plastic base. I'm going to do something about that with the wheels. It's kind of chewed up in the backside. I've already drilled and tapped it, so it just needs to go in the stripper. Now, as you can see, I got a bunch of pieces and parts here that I printed with my 3D printer. I'm going to go ahead and assemble those with some super glue. I've got the front bumper on, and right here I'm going to be attaching the rear bumper. Just need to hold it in place for a second. Maybe use some Insta-Set. Now you can see I mounted the harpoon up top. I've got my protection on the windshield. You'll see the black tires in the background. And right here is where I'm going to be cutting the tubing to make my axles. I'm just using my X-Acto knife. Yep, there it went. Well, I did find it, but hold down both sides when you're cutting that if you're not going to use a cutting wheel. So I'm using that finger right there to hold that down like I said before. So we're at the paint booth now. Going to take care of putting a flat black base on the entire base of the car. Wasn't exactly sure where I was going with this, but I knew I needed to have a dark base to get started. So I just picked up a rattle can of flat black and would coat the base. It's looking pretty good. A couple more passes. Make sure I get good coverage on it. And here is the casting itself. Got a couple of spears mounted on the front. And again, that's a harpoon up top. Now, with me being from Louisiana, I automatically think of the bayous and the water because I'm from Cajun Country. And one thing that we always do is we actually love the water. So if there was a apocalypse, I would probably be down that way, and you never know what you might have to harpoon. Now there is a swamp legend about the Rougarou, and that is supposedly a half man, half wolf. And it's actually not a very intelligent creature. As I say, if you place 13 objects in front of your door, then he can only count to 12, so you have to keep starting over before he could come in. And you're not supposed to look him in the eye, and because if you see one, you may become one. And of course, there's also the story of the fact that they come after the Christians if they don't stick with the Lent promises that they make. And just a little tidbit, but that's what I would be thinking about in an apocalypse is the Rougarou. Now here I'm going to go ahead and start spraying on a green type color. Reminds me of the swampy waters of Louisiana. I'm going to use this as a base coat, top coat. Again, this is my first Gaslands build. I know there is a lot of hobbyists into this. I really enjoyed the build though, as the more I got into it. Just trying to make sure I'm getting good coverage on it. And this green is actually a Citadel color, one of their Citadel Air colors, and you just kind of thin it with a little bit of water and it sprays pretty nice. So now here I'm trying my hand at dry brushing with the Citadel dry paints. I'm going to put some effects on it, like this little bug's been through a swampy area. Making sure they don't get caught by the Rougarou. Now, I've seen a lot of the hobbyists that do this weathering or dry brushing type. Use a paper towel and a coarser brush to apply the paint. You can see where I've tried to simulate mud and dirt. Trying to put some depth on the spears. Again, I have no idea if my technique is correct, but I think it came out pretty good. All right, this is what we started out with. Pretty beat up little Matchbox VW. And here's my final product. I have a gator head on the front. Got my rear bumper is detailed and weathered. The harpoon has a way to be triggered. Got my rope, so the passenger could do that, or even the driver. As you can see, this little VW has been through the bayou land. in the swamps of Louisiana. I hope you guys enjoy it. My take on the Gaslands. I really enjoyed it. Look forward to doing some more. I guess Jim Silva will keep us on our toes. Again, thank you to all my new subscribers. And I'll leave you with some still shots or glamour shots. Everybody stay safe. And I'll see you next week.